All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the 23-24 school year. We're excited to have everybody this evening. My name is Nicholas Cavey. I'm the principal here at the high school campus. Tonight's presentation is designed to give you an administrative overview of some of the items that will be helpful to get the school year started. While we go through this presentation, feel free to ask any questions that you have, and my team here will answer you directly. Also, this presentation will be recorded and it'll be shared on our school YouTube page. So if you missed something or you'd like to review it again, it'll be available by tomorrow on YouTube. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to ask the questions through the chat, and one of our team members here will respond to you. If it's a question that requires more information, maybe we have to look into something specific, that person may tell you that we will contact you soon, but we will respond to all of the questions tonight in the chat. Tonight, we'll cover the following items. We'll talk about our staff contacts for the year. We'll review orientation. So tonight is night one of our weekend orientation offerings. Tomorrow we'll have our in-person orientation, which will be your opportunity to tour the campus. For many of you, you'll get to see the new construction that's been finished up on the second floor for the first time, meet your teachers, and generally kind of get a sense of what the school will look like, what your classes will look like for the upcoming school year. We're also going to review some of our instructional resources, including OSS Connect, talk about schedule change requests, the Bell schedule. We'll briefly touch on assessment, results, and updates. We'll share some parent resources, Chromebook distribution plan, arrival and dismissal map, clubs, instructional resources, code of conduct, and we'll take some time for any questions at the end of the presentation. This is our leadership team for the school year. As I mentioned, our team is here in this presentation right now answering questions. Some of the members from the team will also present this evening, depending on their area of specialty. As I mentioned, I'm Nicholas Cavey. I'm the principal. I'm joined by Mr. Hahn, our assistant principal. Ms. Porkova is our assistant principal, and she's going to be over assessment this year. Mr. LeBron is joining this evening. He's our dean of students. Mr. Guzman, our assistant administrator for operations, will also be here. And Mr. Williams is our assistant dean of students. Not present in tonight's meeting, but you'll see him around campus this school year. This school year, we also have some faculty members that will be able to assist you based on their specific department. Our mental health counselor is Miss Elias. Her email here is listed. We have two college coordinators, Miss Bolad, who's been with us for a very long time. And then joining us this year as an assistant college coordinator, Mr. Bahar. Mr. Bahar was our AP bio teacher last year. He has a lot of experience in the guidance department, so he'll be assisting Ms. Bolad this school year. And our ESE staffing specialist is Ms. Purcell. Ms. Purcell was brought on this summer, and her first day officially will be this upcoming Monday. So if you do contact her tonight or this weekend, she won't respond until next week. So she's still going through the onboarding process, but she'll be available on August 10th. This is our campus. For many of you, it might be the first time here when you come and visit us tomorrow for the orientation. We're across from our elementary school campus at 2600 Technology Drive. As I mentioned, our orientation will be offered tomorrow in person, starts at 9 a.m. We did send out a sign-up appointment list to parents to select a specific slot. This will be an opportunity, again, to view the classrooms, pick up the student agenda, welcome package, and to meet the teachers. Our teachers will post an introduction on their Teams pages. We're still in the process of uploading and updating our Teams pages for the upcoming school year. So these intro videos will not be available tomorrow, but they will be available at some point next week. So if you're not available to attend the orientation tomorrow, you can review that Teams video, and it'll give you kind of an overview of who the teacher is, what they teach, what the instructional resources are. And then we'll have further opportunities for you to meet the teacher down the road with parent-teacher conferences and curriculum night. A short agenda and other documents will be shared with students who aren't able to attend tomorrow. So if your student does not attend, all of the documents and information that's shared tomorrow will be available on the first day of school as well. The front door of the building would be the best place to enter. A lot of times we use the cafeteria, but for tomorrow, we'll have our student ambassadors and other staff members waiting at the front door. So please enter the building through the main entrance. OSS Connect is our primary monitoring system. Throughout the year, we're going to use OSS Connect for student grades, for student behavioral progress. Just like Microsoft Teams, OSS Connect is still in the process of being updated for the upcoming school year, but that should all be available soon. This is going to be the main hub for accessing student records. You'll be able to find the syllabus, you'll be able to find resources. A lot of teachers add PDFs of different assignments, rubrics, calendars. This is where our staff directory is located. So OSS Connect is going to be that primary hub. Again, we'll share information once everything's set up and ready to go next week. Schedule change requests. So we did send out the student schedules earlier this summer. There were a lot of requests that came in. Those requests were processed. We're still getting some requests. If you have a further schedule change request, the link is listed on this presentation. It's also been shared through email. The approval of the request will be subject to course availability and master schedule flexibility. Student schedules were made by the administration and guidance department based on test results, benchmark scores, and teacher recommendations. Schedules are designed based on graduation requirements. If for whatever reason there is a mistake on a student's schedule on the first day of school, we kindly ask that the student follow that schedule until we're able to process their schedule change request. If a schedule change request is not made, the student will be notified why. This QR code is active. We have this posted all over the campus tomorrow as well. And then, as I mentioned, this presentation will also be linked on our YouTube page. With this QR code, you can access the OCPS school calendar, the bell schedule, the tutoring schedule, progress report and report cards, OSS Connect parental access information, and Skyward portal access information, which would be linked to attendance and assessment records. This is a sample student schedule. This will be what your student receives. We have communicated and emailed this already. We also have some hard copies available on campus tomorrow for students who didn't receive it or lost it. But this is basically the students' courses, where they're supposed to be, the room assignment, and the teacher. And the school calendar is listed right here. We follow OCPS for the most part. Right now, we're in the middle of our pre-planning. So all of our teachers have been here since Wednesday. It's been a very positive vibe, as they prepare their classes and their lesson plans and their syllabi, getting ready to meet everybody tomorrow. And then next week, they'll continue their preparations until the first day of school on Thursday. Here is our bell schedule. This will be distributed as well. We also have a Wednesday bell schedule, just like OCPS. And we offer after-school tutoring. So every day of the week, right after school, your student's teacher will offer tutoring, depending on the subject area. We always offer this and encourage students to make the most of this opportunity. This is a great opportunity to review information before big tests and assignments. Again, we highly recommend that students participate in tutoring. After school club program, we offer a variety of after school clubs to satisfy a variety of interests. We're in the process of finalizing our club sign-up list. That will be shared on Monday, August 7th. So that'll be shared and students will have the opportunity to sign up for clubs at that point. And our clubs will begin during the first week of school. So maybe in some past years, we started the second week, but just to be clear, next week we will share the club sign-up form and clubs will begin the first week of school. And they end at 3/22. unless on Wednesday, which is 2/24. Assessment results have been shared. So at this point, everybody should be able to access their College Board AP exam results directly through their College Board account. FSA and EOC scores were emailed directly to parents. Throughout the year, the weekly newsletter is going to be the best place for you to find any updates about, assessment dates or anything that needs to be communicated. We have some tentative dates. This will also be shared in the weekly newsletter, so don't feel like you need to jot all these down. We have some dates that are still to be determined, including our SAT school day and PSAT 8-9. But we do have dates for AP courses and the best and fast assessments. All right, at this point, I'll be monitoring the chat for any questions that you have for me. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Mr. Guzman, to pick up with food service.
Hi, good evening, everybody. In regards for the food service for the school year, there will be breakfast and lunch, and this will be provided to students at no charge. This is a little bit different than what we did in previous years, but students may be able to benefit from this program. However, this is optional and it's not mandatory. Students can still bring their own lunches. Microwaves are still available in the cafeteria for students to serve their meals. Also, there will be, well, there was already, and there will continue to be shared with the parents a survey, so you can put in there whether or not you'll be participating in the program. This will help us plan for the meal for the upcoming months. And the actual menu is also posted on the newsletter as well for this month of August. If we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. There's also information here on the screen about Aftercare. Aftercare is a program that parents can use if students cannot be picked up during regular school hours. The program runs from 4 to 6. Wednesday is a bit different just because they have that early day, but parents can sign up for the program and students can be there under the supervision of school staff until that time. There's also information at the bottom that it shows that you can find the link to do the registration on the newsletter as well. On the screen, you can see now information about Pick My Kid. If you're a returning parent, you can probably notice that we use Pick My Kid as a new platform for last school year. And this is where parents come into campus. They use the app to notify their arrival to school, and the administration can see that the students are going to be picked up and they get dismissed. Some students happen to be walkers. There's a form for that. They can fill that out if students are walking home or using public transportation. There's also a form if students happen to be car drivers. Some of them happen to be maybe seniors or maybe 11th grade students, but they have their driving permits and they drive to school. They can fill out the process for that. Other than that, most likely students are getting picked up by parents in school. There are also services available for pickup, and that's going to be through Maya's Transportation, one of the private bus services. They do come in the afternoon, but that's something that happens a little bit after club. So students do stick around, use the club, and roughly around 3:30 or so, the folks in Maya's Transportation pick up the students. And the very last bullet point on the screen is about carpooling services. Orlando Science High School doesn't really coordinate, but we provide a service where parents can put their information, that database according to the zip code, and parents can reach out to each other to get that carpool service among the help with each other with the parents. We have additional information. This is also new for this school year. In the past, we have used Chromebooks for students to use on campus. This will be provided through each classroom that will have a computer card. Students get to use according to the lesson, and then they will return them back to the card. In this case, we're going to have that one-on-one instruction where students can literally check out those Chromebooks to use it at school. That will be the expectation for them to bring on a daily basis, but then also to check the Chromebooks at home. Chromebook distribution for that plan is currently being finalized at the moment. The plan is to have it for the first week of classes. We previously discussed perhaps to do it during the summer or maybe during orientation time, but there's some items that has to do with the final steps, and this will be done when the students are in school. There were some folks that when they did the registration for their students, they selected for the electronic device policy as a no. They did not agree, so those students will not be given Chromebooks. If this was done by accident or something, students the parents of those students can reach out again to the school, and that can be updated. That way they can have access to the Chromebook. The very last bullet point you can see about the school pay link. Again, this was shared on the newsletter. In there, parents can use that link to make that school fee, and the school fee covers for the Chromebook, also the case that comes with it, the insurance for the Chromebook, as well as other items like we have done in the past, like the logger access student ID. This information here on the screen is for Mr. LeBron to discuss, our Dean of Students. He'll be able to go over these items.
Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm sorry, I was answering some questions, Mr. Guzman. I'll answer some of the questions about the parking and the siblings in a second. I know there's a lot of questions about that, but I'm happy to announce that we are going to be having a boys and girls soccer team and a boy and girls basketball team this year. That we already have our coaches in place. They're already planning schedules. We're going to be playing schools that are of our same size, so we're not going against any major high schools, but it's a good start for our campus. I think it's going to bring a lot of excitement to the campus as a whole and school spirit. There are a few things that need to be done in order to participate. Now, the sports participation packet was sent out through Power School, I believe, last week. If you have not received that, or if you have more questions about the athletic program in the high school, please email Mr. Eric Cooper. His email is at the very bottom. You will need to get a cardiology report for the electrocardiogram. That's something that needs to be done once during your high school life. So if you're a student that already got that done because you participated in something last year or years prior, you do not need to do that, but you will need to do your athletic physical form every year. Parent volunteer organization. This year, we really want to up the ante in how we can attach PVO members to clubs, events, initiatives, or any kind of celebration that we have at school. Tomorrow, if you are in attendance, which I encourage all of you to be there, I will be in the media center with a presentation that shows many of the options to be a part of the school and help in many different ways. I will be over the Student Government Association this year, so I'm looking forward to partnering with parents and obviously the students to enhance student experience on campus. We want to do many events, parties, dances, certain things to reward the students. And they work hard, so we want to make sure they have a great high school experience. A couple of other options we have to be a part is the band. You have Aerospace Engineering Club. We also have our Orlando Science School Day celebration, which is in November. We want to do a big thing for that and kind of make it a staple of the campus every year. Model United Nations, HOSA. If you have any soccer or basketball experience, you want to assist with finding venues, coaching, fundraising, all of that opportunity is going to be there. Come see me tomorrow night, and I'm sorry, tomorrow in the media center. All right, so here's a lot of questions coming through. I've got questions and emails regarding pickup and dismissal. We'll go over arrival first. So in an effort to alleviate the traffic on Technology Drive, we have implemented a sibling pickup area. Now, the sibling pickup area is going to be on the right-hand side of the building if you're facing it, the side that was carted off because of construction last year. When you enter through Technology, you'll go around, there'll be signs placed there, and siblings in carpool will be able to park and drop off their, drop off their students. So that if you have a student in building 1, if you have a student in building 2, and you have a student in building 3, you will no longer have to go and make all the lines. You will just have to drop them off in the back of the building there. There will be a elementary school staff member ready to be there at 7:30. So it's imperative that we get there at 7:30. The cutoff time to drop off siblings is 7:40. So for example, if you do not get there by 7:40, you will have to make the line like last year. So that's in the morning. In the morning, we have the elementary students going to the high school. Elementary staff members going to come to the high school and escort the elementary students across the crosswalk all at once, so it's not holding up traffic. High school siblings are to stay with their younger siblings until the staff member arrives, which the staff member should be there by 7:30. At that point, the high school students can go to class and go to the cafeteria like normal. Now, when you are exiting after you drop off your student, you're going to exit through Texas per usual if you were picking up or dropping off from building 3. So I have a few pictures here. You'll see these when you come in. If you're here tomorrow, you will see the signs that let you know how to get there. It's just a visual aid to assist with the traffic. You'll go around the building just like it says there. Student drivers also will be going this way. And you'll see there's a little modification that we're going to send out probably tomorrow or on Monday, but it's still going to be the same path. You will go to the right side of the building, drop off the siblings, and then exit quickly. Next slide, please. So I have more pictures. What you see here, that sign in the middle where it says sibling drop off, that's actually going to be on the left side. That was a mistake by me. We're supposed to be on the left side. So that left side area closest to the building, the siblings will be dropped off right there. On the right side, student drivers will be able to park towards the back of the school building. So it will not have siblings and little ones will not have to worry about any traffic. They'll be safe on the side of the building with the staff member and with their older siblings. For dismissal, it's the same concept, except now our high school students are going to the elementary school. So we partner with the elementary school. We want to collaborate and try to fix the traffic issue as best we can. There is no perfect, solution. It's going to be crazy, as you all know, the first couple of weeks. But I believe with the increase in student body for the elementary and middle, we calculated that there would be an additional 50 to 60 cars additional than last year. This is why we made these changes. Those of you who have siblings know that it gets kind of crazy trying to make both lines. So this is an effort to alleviate that. So we hope that you guys are patient with us while we work this out. But at the end of the day, students, I have a parent asked me in the chat, I was getting ready to answer. If you have a high school student that has a younger sibling, say you have a student that's in high school and they need to meet their younger sibling in building 1 or 2, at 3 o'clock, they will be escorted by one of our staff members. So the high school will have a meetup, a rally point for all siblings. This will be announced. This will be the only time that high school siblings can cross the crosswalk to meet in between building 1 and 2. The elementary school has a designated area for our older siblings, so they're not mingling with the little ones. And when you drive up to building 1 or building 2, you will just pick up your older sibling like you would any other student. Once again, you will exit preferably through Texas. However, we know the dismissal time that also can get backed up. So we may have an opportunity to go through John Young, but we definitely prefer Texas Avenue. But yes, that's about it. That covers that. If you have any questions, I know there might be more questions. I will be sending out more visuals and try to get it as simple as possible for you to make this smooth. These are also signs to help with building 1 and 2. So we have our U-turn to get to building 2, which we know can be kind of crazy there. And building 1, you will go through that turn lane. So now you no longer have to go through each line. It's just one drop off, one pickup. The code of conduct was modified slightly per some of the legislation you guys have probably seen on the regarding electronic devices, cell phones. This was shared on Facebook. We were just going back and forth with some parents, just answering some questions, which were very good questions. We are kind of ahead of the game. Orlando Science has been with the same electronic device policy where students are not to have their devices visible or use them at all. If we see them, our staff is trained to ask for them and we put them in the front office and parents will have to pick them up. So that hasn't changed. Now, the questions were regarding where to put the phone. Now, students can have their phone on themselves because we don't allow backpacks in the classroom, but the rule is very simple. The phone or headphone, earbud, smartwatch, it just cannot be visible. This is, I prefer students keep their stuff in their lockers. However, I understand that is a worry to some parents. So the general rule is simple. We see it, we ask for it. And parents, please be advised, we will not give the devices back to the student. If a student does refuse to hand over the device, and this is based on every school in the entire district as well now, starting this year, they'll have to follow the same procedure. It will be a disciplinary referral for insubordination, which is a level 2. We do not want to do that. So please, students that are on the chat and parents, please talk to your students about just being, complying with the adults on campus. Regarding dress code stays the same. We are going to be more restrictive when it comes to dress down days this year in the high school. We want to make those like a rewards, more reward and more less frequent. Make sure that all hoodies are OSS hoodies. So in the past, some students would wear non-OSS hoodies even on dress down days. So dress down days, you still must wear an OSS hoodie if you want to wear a hoodie. You cannot wear non-OSS hoodies. Spirit club, team attire, any kind of non-uniform OSS shirt can be worn on Friday. There are plans to open up a catalog of spirit shirts that we're working on, some fundraisers to kind of add some more color and school spirit to the dress down days. As usual, Crocs, slides, sandals, and slippers styles, that's never allowed on campus, so that's nothing new. Shoes and socks, they are, and this has been, some questions about this. It's very simple how we tell the students socks and shoes should be mostly a solid color, blue, black, or white.
All right, so at this time, we'll stay on to answer any questions that you guys have. As we mentioned at the beginning, we're answering questions through the chat. I noticed there were a few questions that were similar, so I'm just going to address a couple of those right now. As far as the Chromebook, so we are officially one-to-one this year, which is really exciting for us, meaning every student will be assigned one Chromebook. That Chromebook will come along with a case that they can use to protect the Chromebook. And the expectation will be that they bring the Chromebook back and forth every day. They'll have it in class, they take it home. We're expecting them to keep it charged so that it's ready to go when they get here in the morning. The Chromebooks will be distributed pretty soon here. We're just waiting to receive the cases from the vendor. We're looking to distribute during the first week of school. And so anybody who is wondering if a Chromebook will be available, yes, every student will have a Chromebook that they can take home. And we're excited to be one-to-one this school year.
I'd like to answer a question here as well regarding the pickup. Well, first I have a question regarding athletics. We are, right now, we're just considering soccer and basketball. If that goes well, there's always opportunities for growth. And I know there's a lot of interest in other sports, volleyball, tennis. We've got a lot of interest on campus, but right now we're just focusing on getting basketball and soccer up and going. The drop off is to be permanent. This is not meant to be something just to start the year off. We foresee this being a simple way to drop off. Now, you do not, if you have a younger student that goes to the elementary school on the first couple of days, we understand that you may want to drop them off at the elementary school and kind of take your time with them. That is up to you. However, the sibling drop off area is going to be available. We encourage it. It'll help traffic. It is not something that you must do. However, the only people that can go and drop off students in that area are siblings. We will be issuing some yellow tags to those siblings, so it's easier to manage. The elementary school is working on that, so that you may have an identifier on your vehicle, so you may turn on that technology drive to drop off the siblings. Here's another question. I have 2 high schoolers and 2 elementary students. One will be driving soon. Will he be able to walk across and get the younger siblings? For dismissal, we're not allowing high school students to walk across the high school to go get elementary students. So that we'll have to discuss another way or they'll just have to make the line and pick them up. But yeah, we don't want any students crossing over, especially high school kids crossing over to the elementary.
Receiving a few questions about clubs. So the club sign-up list will be released on Monday. I don't know the exact time, but we're hoping for as early as possible. Generally, the way that the clubs work is we keep attendance, and if a student signs up for a club and then they have, other commitments and they stop attending, we make spots available for those who maybe weren't able to register the first time. We've also expanded the number of students who can participate in some of the more popular clubs by adding additional supervision. So I understand that maybe there's a concern that you won't get the exact clubs that you want, but if you're not able to get a spot initially, I would say talk to the club sponsor, and there might be an opportunity for you to be added as the school year starts.
Another question regarding pickup. If you have just a high school student and you don't have any siblings, yes, it's still the same. You're going to go around building 3 just like normal and drop them off by the picnic tables behind the school building, and they'll enter through building 2. So hopefully that answers that. And so if you don't have any siblings, it doesn't change any drop off for high school students. Regarding the 10-minute window for the sibling location, that's not saying that 10 minutes to get through the line. It's 10 minutes that the staff member is going to be there, and they're leaving to cross the crosswalk with the elementary students at 7:40. So we encourage students to get there as early as you can. The school opens up at 7 a.m. We have staff members inside the cafeteria at 7. Now, if you get there at 7:15 and you're there, that doesn't mean you have 10 minutes. You drop them off at 7:15. The staff member will be there by 7:30 to escort the students over at 7:40. That's the time the school starts, so we have to get them over there. That's the time we. So I'm not. Maybe I'm answering the question, or I'm not understanding the question very well. But that's the 10 minutes is for the elementary staff to escort the students from high school to the elementary school crosswalk. If I'm dropping off both kindergarten and high schooler on day 1, can I drop both of them off in one location? If you want to go with the sibling drop off, they will drop off at the high school. But if you have kindergarten, you may want to make that second line to the elementary school if they're having a hard time on the first day. I know that kindergarten can be tough. So I've had a couple parents ask that question. That's up to you. I definitely understand if you want to drop off the high school student and then drop off these elementary students on their own. Students can wear band hoodies on Friday. So hoodies should be the uniform sweaters and OSS, as long as it's an OSS hoodie. Now the band is considered a club, school spirit. Those can be worn on Fridays. Again, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia, 3 p.m. is for sibling pickup. That is before club ends. Yes, that's correct. So if a high school student say it's Monday through Friday and they have clubs on Thursday, that means that they will have to be picked up separately once club is over. So you would pick up the siblings, the little ones first, and then come to the high school. Now, if they don't have anything to do after school, 3 o'clock is the cutoff time to go to across the street. We have a staff member who will be meeting all the siblings downstairs by the picnic tables, and they'll walk across the street all together at 3 o'clock. And that was by the direction of the elementary. That's what time they start dismissing. So the only way to make sure that happens and keep the line moving, the high school kids have to be there at 3:05, 3:10. If you have just one high schooler, I think I answered that. You just drop them off normally in the back. So that's the same pattern that we've been doing. If you're unfamiliar with that pattern, there's signs that will direct you to building 3, and you'll turn, follow the line and drop off the students and then exit through Texas. Yeah, and I apologize. I see a lot of questions regarding high school students with no siblings. So if you are familiar with high school drop off, you have no siblings, it does not change. Are students allowed to sit at different tables even if they don't have that teacher? I'm not sure what that means. Basketball and soccer season. So Mr. Cooper, we have Coach Cambino and Coach Talmadge. They're going to be starting about the second week of school. I know basketball, they want to get started. The seasons are both in the winter I think the season start like in November and December, but they want to start trainings very early and get the tryouts done early. So you may want to get the physicals and all the paperwork done. Yes. See anything else, Mr. KB?
I'm just looking at some of the individual questions on the chat and continue to answer on there.
I'll answer another question. Says, would my kids be waiting outside until the teacher walks them over to the building 1 or 2 at the high school? And would this, yes. So this is, I'm assuming in the morning, the high school sibling, the older sibling must stay with the little ones until the elementary staff member arrives at 7:30. So if they're standing outside, it would be for a minute or two, depending on how early you got there. Now, if you get to school early, 7 o'clock, the elementary school opens up at that time as well. They have before care, they can be dropped off there as well. And high school students starts at 7. Yes, soccer, if you're interested in soccer, you want to be at that meeting on the 14th. And you'll have more information in the days to come. And also with the parking and the dismissal and arrival, I will be sending out more images and more corresponding. Please feel free to reach out to me and we'll discuss it in more detail if I need to.
All right, if you asked a question in the chat, we're going to stay on to answer all the questions. So just give us a couple minutes. We're continuing to work through the questions in the chat. We look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. All of our administrators will also be here in person. So if you'd like to discuss any of these items further, we'll be here, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Again, thanks for joining. Have a great evening. Welcome to the school year, and we look forward to seeing everybody soon. Bye.